Back, a question for you. You feel stressed at the end of the day and wish that there was a way to fix things, right? Well, according to one author, the answer is inside you. We're going to talk to her live right after the break with good information. Welcome back, everybody, to today's feature story. You know, life is full of ups and downs, we know that, and sometimes they cause us a lot of stress. And coping with that stress effectively could mean better health and more overall success and happiness. Well, joining me today is the author of a new book. It's called Spontaneous Transformation: 7 Steps to Coping and Thriving in Extreme Times. She says the answers are within us. Jennifer McLean is joining us right now. Good to have you here.
Oh, it's great being here.
Yeah,
Thank
this is a
so
great
much.
book. And
oh, thank you.
You know a lot of good information you can share with us today. I know you say that there's a lot of help out there. You know, there are coaches, there are doctors, psychiatrists, teachers, and so forth. But we have to look within ourselves.
Yeah,
that's important.
Yeah, it's funny. When we think about our grandparents' time, like, they didn't have any of that stuff. There are no personal trainers or chiropractors or psychiatrists or psychologists.
Right.
So I think the pendulum has swung kind of to another extreme. And I think it's time to start swinging back and for us to take a moment and stop looking just outside of ourselves for answers, but to actually take a moment and go within. It's part of the self-care revolution.
Yeah, I like
but
that.
There's more to it than my work and my book talks a little bit more about going within in a deeper way with more consciousness.
Well, you know, like Socrates said, know thyself. This is important. Now, you say that there are 4 simple steps that we can do, okay? Start with the first one.
Okay. The first one is about understanding what our reality is, acknowledging what feels real to us. And, you know, sometimes just standing back and looking at our life and saying, what is my life? What is it?
Yeah.
And acknowledging the things that we like and the things that we don't like.
Right.
That's kind of the first step.
Like just being honest with yourself.
Being honest
right.
and kind of honoring what is in our life without judgment, but kind of being an observer, if you will, of our own life and taking an assessment, going, what's going on?
Yeah, and then you talk about responsibility, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, responsibility is the ability to respond. And it's such an important and refined thing, but it's very subtle, which is how do we respond to our life? Or are we in a lot of reaction? And that's actually the next step, which is reaction. You know, so much, have you ever had this happen to you, Ernie?
Yeah.
Where you're in a moment and all of a sudden, instead of, you're just like going along and then the flip switches, the switch flips, and all of a sudden you're in super reaction. Someone cuts you off in traffic, you know, and it's way more than the circumstance merits. That reaction is something that is a symptom. It's something that's ready to be explored and honored and seen.
I like what you're saying. So in a nutshell, you're saying, you know, go within, right? Get in touch with yourself, understand your feelings, and then have the proper response so that you can deal with it.
That's right.
And change your life.
That's right.
Change your life.
When we have the capacity, oftentimes something happened to us in childhood.
Yes.
A trauma happens, okay? In that moment of trauma, we've made a decision, a coping mechanism of sorts. And we're now coping, and we've created a set of beliefs that now run us. So the opportunity now, in the moment of reaction, is to use the reaction to say, whoa, there's something going on in my life here that's off balance.
So you take control, right? And you really have a sense of who you are, why you're doing these things. You know what? The bottom line is understanding ourselves, right?
You bet.
Know thyself.
Know thyself.
I love your book, Spontaneous Transformation. Jennifer McLean, I thank you so much for joining us, okay?
Thank you so much.
A lot of good information. I'm sure a lot of people go out there and get your book now and want to read more about it. I hope so, too. Sell more books.
Thank you,
Jennifer. Come back again.